All right, guys, yesterday we learned how to add positive and negative numbers if they have the same sign. And today we're going to learn how to add positive and negative numbers if they have different signs. So we're going to do a lot of practice with this, so don't worry if you're still not quite getting it. We'll do a lot of practice with it, and I'm confident that before we move on, you'll have a good understanding of it. So if we have examples that have different signs. So this could be -4 plus 6. Okay, one's negative and one is positive, so they have different signs. This could look like 8 plus -2. 8 is positive, 2 is negative. They have different signs. One's positive, one's negative. That means that we're no longer friends, right? If they had the same sign, they were friends. Now we have different signs. We're at war. Well, we're at war. So our smiley faces are no longer going to be two happy guys or girls. They're going to be two frowny faces. And their eyes aren't going to be the same. One eye is going to be positive, while the other eye is negative. Right? Because we could have a positive number and a negative number, or we could have a negative number and a positive number. It doesn't matter what order they're in. If they are different signs, we are at war. And we'll talk about what that war means in just a second. So if you're going through an addition problem, and this is for addition problems only, you're going through an addition problem and you see two different signs, I'm going to show you what we do, what the steps are. So we're going to write different signs. And here's our steps. We are no longer going to add them. So even though there's an addition sign in the middle of these problems, we're no longer going to add them. We're going to subtract. Okay? Then you have to decide which sign you're going to take, because one's a positive and one is a negative. So you have to decide which sign, and I'm going to show you how to decide. Okay? You're going to ignore the signs. Okay, so just look at the numbers without the signs. You're going to decide which number is bigger. And then you're going to look at the signs and take the sign of that bigger number. Okay, so for example, if I come back up here and I look at -4 plus 6, okay? We're already going to pretend we subtracted. We just want to figure out which sign. So I'm going to ignore the signs. I'm going to ignore this negative. Okay? I'm just going to look. 4 and 6. So I'm ignoring the signs. Now I'm deciding which number is bigger, 4 or 6. Which number is larger? Well, 6 is larger. Okay, so we decided 6. Then we're going to take take the sign of that bigger number. Take the bigger number sign. Well, we decided the bigger number was 6, and our 6 is positive, so our answer would be a positive. Don't worry, we'll do some examples to walk you through this, and I think you'll start to understand. All right, so example number 1. We have 2 plus -4. So we're going to go through our steps. First thing we're going to do, since they're different signs, is subtract. So here I'm going to show you how to do this. We are going to ignore that plus sign in the middle. Not sure what happened there, but that's all right. So for this first example, we're going to subtract, and I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm having technical difficulties here, guys. We are going to ignore this plus sign in the middle and that negative, okay? So I have 2 and I have 4. To subtract that, I'm going to take that bigger number 4 and then subtract the smaller number 2. 4 minus 2. And 4 minus 2 is 2. I'm going to write that up here. Sweet. Okay, now we have to decide which sign. So ignore the signs. Perfect. I'm already ignoring them. Which number is bigger, 2 or 4? Well, 4 is larger than 2, so 4 is our larger number. So whatever 4's sign is, I'm going to look at it in a second, that's what we're going to take. So when I pull this away, 4's sign is negative, so we're going to take that negative sign and put it into our answer. -2. Let's try another one. Number 2, we're going to do -5 plus 8. All right, I'm going to ignore what's happening in the middle, and I'm going to ignore my signs. Just want to look at the numbers. First thing we're going to do is subtract. So my bigger number is 8, so I'm going to do 8 minus 5. What is 8 minus 5? 3. Okay. Now I have to decide which sign. So I'm going to ignore the signs. Great, I'm already doing that. Which number is bigger, 5 or 8? Well, 8 is bigger. So we're going to take 8's sign. And when I move this away, 8's sign is positive, so our answer is going to be a positive. That's the sign we're taking. So our answer is 3. Let's do one more. -3 plus 2. All right, I see that they have different signs. One is a negative and one is a positive. So I'm going to follow my steps here. I know it's an addition problem, but I'm going to ignore that for now because I know they have different signs. I'm going to ignore that, and I'm going to ignore the sign. All right, we are going to subtract. 3 is the bigger number, so I'm going to do 3 minus my other number, which is 2. And I get 1. 3 minus 2 is 1. But now I have to decide which sign am I going to take. Ignore the signs. Great, I already have them covered up. And if you want to cover them up, that's pretty helpful. If you don't want to, that's okay, but it might make your life a little bit easier. So ignore the signs. Decide which number is bigger. Is it 3 or 2? Well, 3 is bigger, so I'm going to take 3's sign. So when I push my stuff out of the way, I see that 3 has a negative with it. So I'm going to put a negative in my answer. -1. Okay. I'm going to give you 2 to try on your own. -6 plus 2. And then -2 plus 5. Go ahead and take a second and pause the video and try these 2 out on your own. So pause and let's try them. Okay, I'm going to walk through these kind of quickly. So I'm going to ignore the plus sign in the middle. I already know it's an addition problem, and I'm going to ignore that sign. I have 6 and 2. Okay, so I'm going to take that bigger one, 6, and subtract the smaller one, 2. 6 minus 2 gives me 4. Sweet. Now I come and decide which sign. Which number is bigger, 6 or 2? Well, 6 is larger than 2, so I'm going to go with 6. Look at its sign. It's a negative, so I'm going to keep it as a negative. -4 is my answer. This next one, ignore that plus sign. Ignore the sign. So I have 2 and 5. Well, I need to subtract. So I'm going to do 5 minus the smaller number, which is 2. 5 minus 2 is 3. Now I need to decide which sign. Ignore the signs. I'm already doing that. Which number is bigger, 2 or 5? Which one is larger, 2 or 5? 5. Then I'm going to take 5's sign, which is 5 is a positive, so I'm going to leave my answer as a positive. All right, guys, there's going to be another Google form for you to fill out. So after you're done watching this video, click the link that's on the PowerPoint slide to the Google form. This is a complete or incomplete grade. So if you complete the Google form, you get the points. If you don't complete the Google form and turn it in, then you don't get the points. So that's due by midnight tonight, and I'll be putting the grades in there tomorrow. So once again, if you have any questions, you can always email me, and I can hopefully help you out. All right. Have a great Thursday.